Hey everyone, I'm Arju Kushwa and welcome to my audiobook. And today we are starting from the immunology, and the topic is cell of the immune system. Okay, let's start it and listen carefully. Okay, the immune system is a defense system in a host consisting of widely distributed cell, tissue, and organs that recognize foreign substances and microorganisms and act to neutralize or destroy them. The cell responsible for both non-specific and specific community are the leukocytes. Leukocytes includes neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, mast cell, monocytes, and lymphocytes. All leukocytes arise from the hematopoietic stem cell. During hematopoiesis, hematopoietic stem cell differentiates along one of two pathways, giving rise to either a common lymphoid progenitor cell or a common myeloid progenitor cell. Okay, so we are starting common lymphoid progenitor first. Okay, common lymphoid progenitor cell give rise to B cell, T cell, and natural killer cells. Okay, lymphocytes are mononuclear leukocytes which constitute 20 to 40% of total white blood cells. They occur in large number in the blood and lymph and in lymphoid organs such as thymus, lymph nodes, spleen, and appendix. Up to 99% of lymphocytic cells are found in lymph. Lymphocytes are three main types: B cell, that is B lymphocytes, okay, T cell, T lymphocytes, and NK cells, natural killer cells. So, B cell. What is B cell? The B cell mature in bone marrow in many mammalian species, ठीक है, including humans, and express membrane bound antibodies. Contact with antigen includes naive B cell have not been exposed. मतलब naive B cell क्या है, जो कि अभी तक expose नहीं हुए हैं एंटीजन से. ओके, to proliferate and differentiate into effector cell known as plasma cell and memory cells. Effector cells carry out specific functions to combat the pathogen, while memory cells persist in the host and when rechallenged with the same antigen respond faster and more efficiently. B cell also serve as antigen presenting cell, APCs. Okay, defense against microbes that is mediated by B cell is called humoral immunity. This form of immunity neutralizes and eliminates extracellular pathogens and toxins that are accessible to antibodies. And antibodies enhance phagocytosis of extracellular pathogens, which can then be killed inside phagocytosis. ठीक है? However, antibodies cannot attack pathogens that survive inside phagocytes and other cells. T cell mediated immunity evolved to provide defense against such pathogens. So now we will discuss properties of B cells. Okay, so the origin of B cell is bone marrow. Maturation of B cell is bone marrow. Okay, and in birds that is bursa of fabricius. Expression of AG receptor in bone marrow, differentiation in lymphoid tissues. ठीक है, सरफेस इम्यूनोग्लोबिन प्रेजेंट होते हैं, इम्यूनिटी ह्यूमरल इम्यूनिटी है. ओके, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है स्प्लीन, लिम्फ नोड, बोन मैरो एंड अदर लिम्फोइड tissues. Okay, now we will discuss about T cells. Okay, T cell arise in bone marrow. Unlike B cell which mature with the bone marrow, T cell migrate to thymus gland to mature. During its maturation within the thymus, the T cell comes to express a unique antigen binding molecule called the T cell receptor on the membrane. The T cell receptor is a heterodimer composed of alpha and beta chain and gamma chain and delta chains. T cells do not make antibodies but perform various effector functions when antigen presenting cell, that is APCs, okay, bring antigen into the secondary lymphoid organ. T cell help in eliminating antigen presenting cell, cancer cell, virus infected cells or graft which have altered cell. T cells are divided into two major cells type: T helper cells and T cytotoxic cells that can be distinguished from one another by the presence of either CD4 or CD8 membrane glycoproteins on their surfaces. T cell displaying CD4 generally function as TH cell, whereas those displaying CD8 generally function as TC cell. That is TC cell. What is TC cell? That is cytotoxic cell. Okay, the ratio of TH cell and TC cell is approximately 2:1 in normal human peripheral blood, but it may be significantly altered by immunodeficiency and autoimmune disease. Activation of naive T cell in a secondary lymphoid tissues result in the generation of effector and memory T cell. When naive TC cell becomes activated, they proliferate and differentiated into a type of effector cell called cytotoxic T lymphocyte. TH cell can be activated and differentiated into a variety of effector T subsets such as TH1, TH2, TH17 and T regulatory and T follicular helper cells. Okay, the defining characteristic of differentiated subsets of effector cell are cytokines they produce. Each of the subset produce a distinct set of cytokines. Defense against pathogens that is mediated by T cell is called cell mediated immunity. T cell can provide protection against intracellular and extracellular pathogens and also assist in elimination of tumor cell. TC cell provide protection against intracellular pathogens such as viruses and some bacteria and parasites that multiply in the host cell cytoplasm, where they are sheltered from attack by pathogen. They provide this protection by killing the infected cell before the microbes can proliferate and escape from the infected cell to infect neighboring cells. TH cells are crucial for defense against both extracellular and intracellular pathogens. They produce cytokines that activates B cell to make antibodies and that inactivated or eliminated extracellular pathogens and their toxic products. They also activate macrophage to destroy any intracellular pathogen multiplying within the macrophages phagocytomes, and they help activate T cell to kill infected target cell. Okay, now we will discuss about the properties of T cell. So the origin of T cell is bone marrow and maturation is thymus. Okay, expression of AG receptor thymus है, differentiation lymphoid tissue, surface IG absent होता है and immunity cell mediated as well as humoral that we discuss. Okay, and the secretory product of T cell is cytokines. B and T cell express many different CD proteins on their surfaces depending on their stage of development and the stage of activation. In addition, each B or T cell also expresses an antigen specific receptor on its surface. Surface protein expressed by cell of the immune system are often referred to by the cluster of differentiation nomenclature. NKT cell, that is natural killer T cell, are a subset of T cell that share surface marker and functional characteristic with both conventional T cell and natural killer cells. They express marker associated with both T cell and NK cells. Most NKT cell express a invariant T cell receptor and some express CD4. Unlike most T cell, NCR of NKT cell recognize glycolipid antigen presented by the class 1 MSC related protein CD1 on surface of antigen presenting cell. Now we will discuss about NK cell. NK cells are a class of large granular cytotoxic lymphocyte belonging to the innate lymphoid cell family. Innate lymphoid cells are derived from common lymphoid progenitor but do not express antigen specific receptor. Currently, they are subdivided into three groups, that is ILC1, ILC2 and ILC3. Okay, what is ILC? ILC is innate lymphoid cell. Okay, distinguished by the cytokines they secreted. ILC are largely tissues resident cells. Like B cells and T cells, NK cells are also derived from common lymphoid progenitor in bone marrow, although some NK cells develop in the thymus. This organ is not required for NK cell maturation. NK cells are distinct from cytotoxic T cells. However, NK cells also play a role in destroying cells infected with intracellular pathogens. NK cells are neither T cell nor B cell. They constitute 5 to 10% of lymphocyte population. Their numbers are not enhanced nor do they exhibit memory after stimulation. NK cells destroy the target cell not by phagocytosis but by releasing biological potent molecules. They assemble TC cell in their ability to destroy infected cell. For example, NK cells also use perforin and Gray enzyme to kill their targets. However, NK cells differ from TC cell in they kill target in antigen non-specific manner. The most distinctive phenotypic characteristic of NK cell is their expression of a set of unique activating or inhibiting NK receptors. These receptors are responsible for determining target of NK cell. NK cells are capable of destroying malignant and virus infected cells without previous exposure or contact with the foreign antigen. So there is a syndrome, that is Cerdaic-Hengesi syndrome, an autosomal recessive disorder is associated with lack of NK cell. We completed common lymphoid progenitor. In next video we will discuss about common myeloid progenitor. So bye bye for now. I hope you like the video. If you like, then like, share, subscribe. Thank you.